All right, welcome back. Another episode.
Another day, another
day. Just want to first have y'all look at our cute little shirts here, t-shirts.
Our newest, and actually her Huddle's first official brand partner.
Yes.
Dog mentality. Because we them dogs.
We all got them dogs in us. We're super happy to have this new partnership with us. And there's going to be more to come with it. But for now...
Oh, we can't wait to tell y'all what's coming up. But for now, y'all can use her code on their website.
Go check it out. Honestly, we just got these stuff yesterday. And the material is so nice. The t-shirt, it's a little thicker material. Yeah. But I really like the fit of it.
The fit, yeah, and I like that it's thick because it it sits right. This is high quality stuff.
Right, and then they have hoodies. The hoodies, try mine on, so comfortable, super soft.
If y'all go on our Instagram, y'all can see some pictures that we posted yesterday.
And they have a bunch of nice stuff. They have crop tops, they have hats, all that kind of stuff. So go check it out. Use the code. Get y'all.
And stay tuned for some more to come. Back to football. So we had playoffs this past weekend, right? And let's just get it out there. We lost first round to Mississippi. So season's over. Season's over. And that's that bomb.
Right. Done. No. Bye. See ya. I don't even know. I don't even want to fucking talk about it. Sorry. My bad. Cussing and shit. Yeah. But
it's still sensitive.
Yeah, it's too soon. But just a quick recap of the game. It was a close game. The game ended 12-8 to Mississippi, and they scored in the first quarter, I think, or was it beginning of second? At least, kind of in the beginning of the game somewhere. First half. So halftime it was 6. They missed their extra point, so it was 6-0. And then we came out second half. We got the ball, and we literally our offense ran 8 minutes out of. Off the first quarter and scored, and we went for a 2-point conversion. Got that, so we were up by 8-6 for pretty much almost the rest of the game. Yeah. And then when it was 2 minutes left of the game, they scored another touchdown, missed their extra point, so it was 12-8, and that hurt.
And then we still had a chance, but we just kind of fucked ourselves, and then they was able to take a knee at the end. So.
And I think, honestly, and we've said this so much this season, which is, annoying. But even, honestly, other teams' coaches said this to us after the game, that we kind of fucked ourselves up a lot in the game.
Bro, if we hadn't everybody, not even coaches, players, everybody said, they had us as the sleeper. We were supposed to win that game. Yeah. Which we were. Not to take anything away from Mississippi. Right. But, even Mississippi said that. Yeah. That, we really had a chance. We did.
So, that kind of sucked just losing it also. Because, for me, it's if we play a team and they just straight out beat us, they're so much better. Yeah. I can take that. Yeah. We were not the better team.
It hurts, but, we'll get over it.
But this is kind of I think all of us kind of had that feeling we can actually do this now. We're up 2 points.
Especially when we scored, when Alex caught that bean top on that 2-point conversion, bro, everybody went crazy because we were literally bro, this should be it, and this can be it, right? But it wasn't it,
and especially be based off of the defense we've had this season, because our defense the whole season has been able to hold shit down. So it was all you got is just one more quarter. You just gotta do what you've done all season. But yeah, so that was rough.
Bro, we was crying. Bro.
I was I'm not even.
We couldn't even be around our own team after that, and not to obviously our team took it hard too, but we're just personally us too, we're just the type of people that we cannot be around people when
we lose.
Yeah, I couldn't even go in the locker room. I literally could not even go to the locker room. I had my teammate bring all my stuff out. Yeah. We stayed in the room all night. Everybody else was I don't know.
And that was even the day after. We didn't even hang out with our team, and it's not even against our team anything. That's just who we are.
I still love my teammates, but I just I can't
be around people. That.
Not right now. I just need my space.
So that was rough. And then the other games in our conference, Washington played Atlanta before our game on Thursday, and that was a close game too. Atlanta beat Washington 6-2. So then Atlanta played Mississippi on Saturday, and Mississippi won 20-6.
Which is also very annoying because we almost beat Mississippi, and we just know if Mississippi almost lost to us, but they beat Atlanta by that much. If we would have beat Mississippi, we would have beat Atlanta. Like, this just...
Yeah. And it's also frustrating because I feel like our game against Mississippi should have been the Saturday game. We should have, because that's the thing. Atlanta and Washington never played each other regular season. So the rating could have changed if they would have. And I'm like, that should have been the Saturday game.
Right.
But it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we could fucking die doing what ifs, but like...
Right.
It's just too soon.
Right. And at the end of the day, we did finish. Like...
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Then we had the Western Conference playoffs where Texas played Seattle at first, and that game ended 21-14.
But they kept... So, we never watched the game, but people was, like, updating us on it, and it was like, oh, it's 7-7. Oh, it's 14-14. And we were like, what is going on? Because at first when they said, like, it's 7-7, we were like, what? Right. And then they're like, oh, no, it's 14-14. What? So it wasn't just, like, an error. Like, y'all actually, like, I still haven't watched that game, and I feel like I need to, just to see what's going on. Somebody did say Bushman didn't play, which probably played a huge part. But still, I'm like, and not to take anything away from Seattle, but, like, I did expect Texas to beat them by a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but I also love that for Seattle, honestly, because, like we've said before, like, Seattle has been stepping up this season, so that's really... But, yeah, I don't know what went on in that game, and we were like... If Texas lost to Seattle, like, also, so like, again, no disrespect to Seattle, but if y'all lost to Seattle, the one team that nobody expected to win in the playoffs, like, it's one thing if y'all lost to anybody else, but Seattle.
Yeah. And then Denver played San Diego, and that was also a close game. Ended up San Diego winning 7-0. So San Diego and Texas played the conference championship game, and Texas beat San Diego 27-23. So I feel like all games in the playoffs, they were like close games. Nobody was like dominating any, like, all
and
the
I
other
love
teams.
that.
Me too, because that just also shows that we're getting like closer, like it's more even, and all that. So that means Mississippi and Texas are playing each other in the championship game. Not this weekend, but in the next weekend.
So championship prediction.
So before playoff weekend, I know we talked. I was like, no, I don't care. Like, Dallas had maybe a rockier season, but I still think they're gonna beat them. Like, they have it in them. After this playoff weekend, I'm not so sure anymore.
Because the thing is also, because, like, at first I was like, okay, well, if Bushman didn't play, like, that made a huge part. But she did play against San Diego, and they still almost lost. So I'm like, is it a little rocky? And then Mississippi, I feel like they've also, like, they didn't have their greatest game against us, I feel like. So, but then they came up on top on Atlanta and everything. So it's like, I think this game will actually be tight. But, like, I think a lot of people are hoping for Mississippi to win and not to take out anything away from Texas or Texas players. But, like, I think everybody's ready for a new champion.
Right. Everybody also always loves the underdog story.
Yeah.
And Mississippi's coming in as the underdog. Like, everybody loves that.
Right.
Kind of, story,
and it's not, it's not even like, oh, Mississippi over Texas. But I feel like at this point, like, it's not Texas versus everybody. But, like, everybody's ready for a new champion. It's not personal.
Not at all.
You know, it's not personal at all. But also, I feel like if somebody deserves to win the championship, it would be Mississippi. Yeah. Because they have had, like,
and they have defense. Their players on defense.
Also,
like,
their offense.
But they're ballers. Yeah. The receiver core. And even their O-line, because they're holding, like, the amount of time Mel has in that pocket. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. And that's what we were saying, too. When you watch Mel play, she looks so comfortable.
Bro, lining up as a linebacker, and I'm looking at Mel, and she's just chilling. And this, like, I feel like that's kind of rare to see in women's football, to actually have so much, like, confidence. And obviously, I don't know, she might not be, like, she could be panicking inside, but the way she looks so calm, you can just see her, like, looking around, just making her reads, like, she's just reading the field, like, she's used to that. Like, she looks so experienced, and I fucking love that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I do think, it's so hard. Because then my thought is also, like, going to a championship game is different.
I know.
That's where, like, routine matters. And Dallas,
that's the thing. They've been there so many times.
Mississippi were there last year, though. So they do have... So I think, honestly, it's going to be a game kind of when they played each other regular season. I think Mississippi's going to win, but it's going to be, like, 1-2 points. Something like that.
Yeah, it'll literally be, like, 2, 3, 4 points. Like, that's it. But it's also, like... it's gonna be the small mistakes. Like, this game is all about the small mistakes. Like,
and just like even penalties.
Yeah.
Like one penalty in that can change the whole game.
You get hot-headed, you're out.
Right.
Like, nah, like, neither team can actually afford small mistakes.
Right.
But I'm so much more excited for this year's championship game, because last year it was like, you already knew it was going to be kind of easy, and it ended up being easy for Texas. But this year it's like, no, it's actually going to be good. And at the end of the day, like, if Texas wins, like, fucking good for Texas. Like, I still love that. Like, as long as it's a tight game, I actually don't care who wins.
Right.
But I think we're all ready for Texas to lose the championship.
Yeah.
One time.
Just one time. And then we'll come back and win next week or whatever.
Right. So. Yeah, that was playoffs. So, it is what it is.
Oh, but also, there was also a flag.
Oh, yeah.
Going on. And so all the teams were supposed to bring a flag team, and it was like divided. So some teams went to Eastern and some went to Western. So we had a flag team from Kansas City, and it was some of our players. So some teams had put together, like, they had no players that actually played on their tackle team, because anybody could rep any team in the flag, really. But we had players from our team in our KC team. But then I think it was Atlanta who didn't have its flag team. So our team, since we didn't have any more games, created an O-line team. So we had, like, our actual flag team. Yeah. And then we had our O-line team who were, like, basically just filling out a spot. But I wasn't going to play. When I woke up on Friday morning, I was hurting so bad.
We were like, nope.
Right. But then we went there, and I was like, you know, we can't be on the sideline for shit. So I decided to play anyways, and it was fun. But it's like one of these things where I always be like, I can't take shit for fun. Like, I just get too competitive.
That's the thing, because we went there, we wasn't supposed to play, right? So when we woke up in the morning, we, like, went to breakfast. Then we were sitting by the pool with our teammates. Like, everybody's just chilling. We started drinking a little bit, everything. We go to the game. Like, we're not supposed to play and everything. But then you're like, okay, fuck it. Like, I'll play. And you try to take it as a joke, but you can't. And then you come up to me, and I'm not playing at this point. So she's like, you got a sports bra? I don't got a sports bra. Can we switch? So we had to, like, switch. We were like, where's the camera set? We had to, like, switch real quick. She's like, I need a sports bra. I got a strapless bra and everything. So, like, you know how the setup is like, oh, I'm just going to have fun. And then you get to the field, and it's like,
And it's also like, obviously, we're an O-line team. We're not gonna be doing shit out there. So I can get mad at myself sometimes. I'm like, why can't you just, like, have fun?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, but then it's also, like, the funny thing to me, because then it's also, like, all of our teammates is obviously standing on the side, like, you're there, and our coaches, and they be talking the most fucking shit. Like, I'll play O-line, okay? Like, yeah, I used to play linebacker, but I haven't in a couple years. And one of the first plays, like, it should have been a pick. It went right through my hands. And the way these be talking shit, I'm like, I know y'all not out here yelling at me like that.
Grandma would have caught that ball.
So, like, I feel like that thing, then it becomes, I'm like, fuck it, now I really gotta do it.
Yeah,
but it was fun. I had fun. I had picks.
Yeah.
I definitely don't know how to play flag. So I definitely did tackle people.
But that's the thing. You put a bunch of tackle football players playing flag. What the fuck do you expect? Like, you literally know every flag is going to be a tackle.
And I'm like, I can rip a flag every now and then, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to run you over and take the flag.
So I wasn't gonna play at all. So even when Ida jumped in, I was like, all right, have fun. We'll switch bras, because I'm not playing. Like, my meniscus is torn, my hand is broken, I'm probably concussed. Like, I was like, I literally could barely play the playoff game, so, like, I'm not doing it. But then they played, I guess, 2 games.
Yeah.
And then in the third one, they were like, fuck it, play. And I was like, fuck it. Let's ball. Like, you know, the season's over, whatever. But I don't have my cleats with me. Ida went back to the hotel to get her cleats. But I was like, I don't have time. So I'm, like, looking around, like, if somebody has cleats for me in my size. And I end up wearing Ida's O-line cleats, which are, 1, too small. Secondly, O-line cleats. I had her gloves that are also too small. And I was like, fuck it. They just give me a t-shirt. I was like, whatever. And went to play. We lost that game, though. But,
But
I had 1 out of 1 catches as a receiver, so.
And it was fun, and it was like, I feel like it was also an environment for a lot of players from different teams to just hang out, have fun. Like, we met players we played with in DC when we played there. So it was just fun, because when we go to these tournaments, even though, like, we play, but we don't live in, like, the same spots. Like, everybody's staying at different locations, so you don't get to really hang out and talk. So this was kind of like a nice...
Yeah, it was fun just talking to players from other teams, and like, and also for our teammates, because like obviously what had happened last night, you know, like we couldn't even talk to our teammates whatsoever. So then to like come and just have fun with the team, like I feel like we needed that. Like, just, because everybody, even the ones who wasn't playing, like, they was in the sidelines just cheering, like, talking shit. But also, like, we was just having fun. But then also, connecting with, like, players from other teams and everything. Like, it was I feel like Friday was actually, like, it was a fun day.
It was. And it was fun, not only us, because also our coaches. Because our coaches, they're like us, some of them. So they've been like, no, I'm not doing flag. I'm not coaching flag. Screw that. I'm not even going to go watch. And we're like, hey, just come watch, whatever.
Yeah. All of a sudden, they're drawing up plays on a whiteboard. Where did this whiteboard come from?
All of a sudden, they're like so deep in it by making up a whole playbook on the side. I'm like, see, if y'all wonder where we get it from, because our coaches are the same.
Yeah. Everybody's the same. So. We did course touchdown from a play that I drawn, by the way. Just
okay.
Yeah. Well, I drew the one route, but it was like an option route, and they ran it the right way, and Drea scored. So
okay.
Coach.
Shout out to you.
Flat coach.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was, Friday was fun. I think we all needed that. Also kind of get away from just sitting in the hotel and like, you know.
Yeah. Especially for us too, because we take shit very deep.
Right.
Like, we needed that.
Right. A big shout out to Mississippi and Dallas and then all the other teams too. I think this season has been a lot more fun than last season, just because I feel all the teams have stepped up. Yeah.
It's been more competitive.
Very.
So in the previous episodes, we've been talking about, you know, how we ended up in Finland and Sweden and Spain and DC. So after DC, we had our first season in the WNFC with the Houston Mambas. So we're just going to go over how that happened and kind of the transition from WFA to WNFC and all of that. So you want to start us off?
Yeah, so we talked about that we played in DC 2022, and when we left, we had already like talked to the DC Divas. We were going to come back. So we tried to, we really tried early to start the whole figuring things out when it comes to visas, living arrangement, everything. And we were doing that for like a couple months. Yeah. But it just like nothing really happened. Yeah. Like, it was always like, we're working on it, but we didn't really get any clear decisions. Nothing was like decided. Nothing really came up that would have been, okay, this works. And so we had 2 teammates who we played with in DC. Yeah. And we were like, we saw a thing on social media and talked to them a little bit that they were thinking about, because we found out Houston was starting a team in the WNFC, a new team. And all of a sudden, like, we saw that they signed there. They were one of the first people they announced.
Yeah, so at first we were a little, like, skeptic. We were like, oh, okay, a new team, whatever. Like, we just saw something. We just like, okay, we don't know anybody there. We don't even know too much about the league, whatever. Like, we're not even thinking about Houston. But then we saw our teammates, D. Scott and Shanice Cole. Shout out to them, too. Nah, for real. We saw them sign, and we're like, well, them 2 are fucking dogs. Right. First of all,
they sign there,
right? They're not dumb. They're not gonna sign just anywhere. No. 2, they're dogs. So we're like, okay, so it must be a little potential in there. And then we just kind of started talking to them a little bit as a joke, like, oh, like, we need to play together again, all that. And then they're like, well, how about y'all pull up to Houston? We was like, you know what? But we're still like kind of joking about it and everything. But then, Cole and D, they got us in contact with the owners in Houston. And really, the ball just started rolling from there. Yeah. Like, we're still talking to DC, and we told them that we're still talking to DC and everything. But Houston just, like, they put the ball rolling. They were like, okay, what do you need? Like, okay, like, this, that.
I think, and like I said, we were still talking with both teams. What ended up is, like, if one team says, okay, this is what y'all said you need. Here, we got it. Yeah. And the other team don't. And then we also hear good things, and we were interested. Also, we started obviously looking more into the WNFC league, see that they were doing some stuff that really aligned with what we kind of want to do and what we want to, what kind of environment when it comes to football we want to be in,
what we want to be associated with also.
Right. So at that point it was like, I think that decision became pretty easy for us to go there. And also, we saw a lot of players they signed. Houston signed a lot of really good players that year.
Yeah, we kept saying, because while we were talking to them and they're posting these signings, we were like, okay, Team USA. Right. Okay, another Team USA.
I think they posted the Pooh.
Yeah, Tori.
Yeah,
like,
so we're like, okay.
We're like, okay, y'all kind of stacking up. Like, we see a little potential in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely, I would say, like, the main factor was literally, like, they would just ask, like, what do you need? And then they're updating us, like, as they're, like, working on it. Right. Like, it's not like everything happened like this, but it's just, like, sometimes with teams, they're a little bit like, okay, well, we'll see what's up, whatever. Right. But they were like, okay, no, we're going to try to make this work. Yeah. And then
they did.
Right. They did. So we ended up signing there.
So we had a really good situation there, too, living there. I would say a hard thing in Houston is just, we live kind of outside a little bit. And
Houston's big. Like, everything is far in Houston.
So big.
Literally everything is far in Houston.
Like, I didn't understand that, but even, like, you just want to go across town, it takes you 40 minutes.
At least. Like, sometimes it would take us over an hour to go to practice, even though it's, like, technically 20 minutes away. Type. Like, the traffic also in Houston. Because that's the thing. Like, it could be, like, somewhat close, but it'll still take, like, an hour. Like,
it was crazy. But we ended up playing there, and we had, honestly, one of the best head coaches that I've had. Yeah. And she was also, like, the DC, so you had...
And my linebacker coach.
Right, so you definitely got coached. For me, it was like she was my head coach, but then I played on offense. But definitely one of the most impressive coaches, and as a player, like, she'd been a player, and she's that dog.
That's the thing.
Okay, like, she was that.
As a player, dog. You know, like, your coach doesn't necessarily need to be a dog as a player. Like, there's a lot of great coaches who never played football. But it's one thing when a coach, like, asks you, like, because Coach Soho is, she was in the military and stuff. Like, she runs, like, low-key a military camp. But she's asked, and she's, like, she'll put you through hell, but she can also show you that she's been through it. Because then there's coaches, like, they put you through hell, but then it's kind of like, would you do this, though? And again, like, you don't have to be a dog to be able to coach, obviously. But when we seen clips where, bro, she hit the shit out of a bitch, dislocated her shoulder, popped it back in, went back on the field. You're like,
she's actually insane.
I don't have any excuses. You literally don't have any excuses. Like, it's just a different level of, like, respect when you've seen that.
And at the end of the day, she didn't put us through anything that she wouldn't do, but also that the players she wanted, this is what she needed from us. And she didn't put us through anything we didn't come out on the other side of. Yeah. Better. We had training camp. Or no, not even, you know, let me start here. The first weekend we got there, we had a beach workout.
Oh my God.
I don't know if y'all seen the videos in the military when they do shit like in the water and stuff. That's where she had it. We were running in sand, running in water, burpees in water.
It doesn't sound that bad.
It doesn't.
But, bro, try to do it. We did that for 3 hours. I think we had 2 water breaks. And we're already thinking, like, ooh, we're going to the beach. Like, you know, we're coming from Finland and Sweden. It's January. It's fucking snowing. The day before I left to Houston, my car got stuck in the snow. So I'm just like, bitch, we going to the beach to work out. Like, I'm happy. God damn, we ended up running in the water, like, knees deep in the water, doing burpees, high knees, just running for literally 3 hours straight. I was like,
but that, I think, like, that was so cool, because also I think Houston had a big thing that they had to do last year, because they started a completely new team. They brought in players from everywhere, trying to get all of these players to become one team when you were all used to being in different teams, organizations, leagues. That is hard.
Yeah,
it doesn't like happen overnight.
Yeah, a big part of like team bonding is honestly going through shit together. So it's like she had to put us through hell just so we have to survive together.
Yeah, and that was what basically they did at training camp. We went to training camp. We drove into the middle of nowhere. When I tell you, no cell phone reception, nothing,
no service.
we got there on a Friday, I think, and then Saturday morning we had our first practice. Literally practice all day. Pretty much. We had like a lunch break.
Yeah.
And then practice again. And then we had like a little time to shower, all that, went to sleep. Woke up.
No, they told us be up by 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, be up by 6 a.m. Practice is at like 7. We have breakfast, whatever.
But it wasn't 6 a.m. when we
Lies!
woke up. It was not 6 a.m. when we woke up. It was like 4 in the morning. All I see, so we stayed in different cabins. So my cabin, all I see is just a flashlight straight in my face and somebody yelling, "You have 30 seconds to get out of this bed and get outside."
We didn't. Who woke you up?
Smitty.
Yeah, Coach Soho woke the linebacker room up. And bro, she's just banging on the door. She said, "Y'all got 2 minutes to be outside." Somebody started brushing their teeth. She said, "Fuck your teeth. If you don't have time to put clothes on, you don't put clothes on." So people are literally out there in their little pajamas. It's cold outside too. People are in their slippers. They're like, you literally have like 1 minute to get out the room. You gotta run down to the field, which is downhill forest, with no lights on. We're in the middle of nowhere. We don't even know what type of fucking animals there is. I'm like, bro, I might be chased by a bear right now. Like, I don't fucking know. And we're running down there in our fucking, people are in their flip-flops, whatever. And then we didn't even have lights on the field.
No, they
lit up the field with car
lights.
Like headlights. And then we had 2 hours of just pure cardio.
Yeah, it was
at 4 a.m. And people are in there like not even dressed. Like people don't have a fucking bra on. They're doing cardio. Like
it was crazy. But that was the kind of thing that like that showed us, because also I feel like that shows me like if you're my teammate and I can see you go through all that, oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Like we in this now.
And it's like it did bring us together to the like. Because, like, we had to hold each other up. Because when you're dying, I need to hold you up. Because if they see you're down, we're all fucking doing push-ups. We're all running. Like, I can't let them see you down. So I gotta hold you up. Like, we had to push each other.
So that was... It was
the most traumatizing, but also a really good experience.
Right. And these are the things, at the end of the day, after you, like... stop playing, or even now after you've been there, these are the things you remember, and you laugh about like it's fun, like.
And to this day, we're like, if we got through that, like I can get through a lot of things. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's just
so that's like kind of how the season started, and then we went on from there. And we had a decent season for being a completely new team. Yeah. Because we really only had 3 months to put it together, because a lot of players didn't actually come in. Even Coach Soho didn't come in until January, because she was in a season with another team and everything. So it's like we actually only had 3 months to put this team together, and that is not a lot when it comes to football, because football is all about timing and being on the same page. So, but we had a good season. We had Houston both this year and last year had a rough schedule. The only team that both seasons have had to play Dallas twice. So we had to do that last season there. Because our record ended up being 3-3. So we only lost to Dallas twice in Mississippi. Yeah. So we beat KC last year, beat Denver, and then we played Tennessee. Yeah. So we ended up with a 3-3 record and made the playoffs. We said it was funny. We talked about this. So besides where we lived in the States, Jackson, Mississippi is where we've spent the most time because we had to spend a couple days there when we played last year with Houston, and now we were there again. Yeah, we spent like 4 days there last year. Yeah. And now we spent another, 3 days there again. We were like, damn. But we ended up making the playoffs, and last year it was in Atlanta. Yeah. So we went to Atlanta. Played Mississippi in the first round.
Mississippi on the first round.
I don't know. This is starting to feel like something's,
But what we did say, like, this year feels way worse than last year. Because last year, we also almost beat them. Like, we could have beat them in the regular season game as well when we lost. Yeah. But it was really tight, and we could have beat them. In the playoff, yes, we had the potential to beat them, but we wasn't going to beat them. Like, we were not playing as a team. There was issues, we weren't going to beat them. So, yes, we were devastated, but, we were way better after the game, last year than this year. This year really, completely fucked us up. Like,
yeah, last year that was what kind of said, when a team is just better than you and they just beat you straight off, I can be like, okay, I can accept it. Yeah, I can accept it. So last year was like, okay, that sucked, but we were not good enough. This year,
this happens.
We were good enough, but we just didn't do it. But yeah, so we did play in the playoffs in Atlanta, lost first round again to Mississippi that year too. And that was kind of the season. Mm-hmm. We really enjoyed being in Houston. I feel like we had such fun with all of and I think it was a different feeling because a lot of players came there, moved there for the season. Even if they didn't come from abroad, they still moved there from all kinds of different. So a lot of people didn't have nobody there, no family, no friends, didn't know anybody. So we kind of became each other's family because we were all we had, literally, because everybody else's family live in other parts too. So I think that was a cool experience, honestly, to be part of.
Yeah, we definitely had a good time there. Yeah, like we did hang out with the team a lot, or like not even the whole team, but like certain players and stuff. Like, yeah, we did, like, that's still our people for real. This day.
Yeah, and that's honestly something this year. We're gonna talk more obviously about why we didn't go back, but seeing Houston struggle this year. Oh, it hurt. That hurt. No, it really hurts, and it's because like we did struggle last year as well. Not as bad as this year, but we did struggle, and it's like I don't think a lot of players or like teams understand what's been going behind the scenes. You know, like even last year, like we looked like we was doing decent, but we were struggling with a lot of stuff. But we just like stick together as a family and like try to handle business. But it like, I mean, we were a first year team. Like it's struggles, you feel me? But this year, I don't know, like it really hurt because I'm like, they have such great players, great people, and to see them like have to go through shit, like it's just. And it's also when you know, like we know what they go through, and they're working so hard. Like like these players are ballers. Yeah, they're actually really good players. Yeah, they're good football athletes. So to see them struggle is just hard because you know that they put everything they had into it, but it just didn't work out this season. Yeah. So that was rough this year seeing that. But you know that's how sports work.
It is what it is.
But yeah, so that was kind of Houston.
Yeah. So usually we end the episode with something lighter and funnier, but ain't shit funny when you lost the playoff game and your season's over. Ain't shit funny. So
we'll be back funny next week.
Just let us be depressed for at least a week.
Yeah.
And
we'll get back to you. But we appreciate y'all tuning in, and again, go check out Dog Mentality. Get y'all some nice stuff. Okay, represent. And we'll see y'all next week.
All right. Bye.